I don't care what ID you have, you're not getting in. Tony Parker jerks the briefcase from the woman's hands. Papers scatter across the marble floor of Medicor Industries headquarters. Important documents flutter in the morning air. The woman doesn't raise her voice. She doesn't argue back. She simply adjusts her coat and begins collecting her papers methodically, one by one. Employees walking into work stop mid-stride. Phones emerge from pockets. The lobby fills with whispers and recording devices. "The FDA meeting starts in 15 minutes, she says quietly. Tony crosses his arms. Not my problem. If you're watching this, please subscribe and let me know where you're watching from. Because what happened next would change everything at this pharmaceutical company. Sometimes the loudest voice in the room belongs to the most insecure person. But Tony Parker had no idea who he just challenged. 7 a.m. at Medicor Industries. The headquarters lobby gleams with polished marble and steel. Floor-to-ceiling windows frame the Silicon Valley skyline. Tony Parker stands behind the security desk like a general surveying his territory. His uniform is pressed crisp. His posture screams authority. "Brad, Steve, listen up," he barks at two younger guards. "I don't care if someone has ID. I don't care if they have a key card. If something feels off, you stop them." Brad Miller nods eagerly. Steve Davis straightens his shoulders. "We're the first line of defense," Tony continues. "Nobody gets past us without my say-so." The woman approaches the main entrance, professional blazer, leather briefcase, confident stride that speaks of someone accustomed to being heard. She swipes her keycard at the scanner. Green light. Access granted. The turnstile clicks open. "Hold up there, miss." Tony's voice cuts across the lobby. His hand slaps down on the turnstile, stopping its rotation. The woman pauses. "Excuse me?" "ID check, company policy." She reaches into her blazer, pulls out a laminated badge with her photo. Medicor Industries. Executive level clearance. Tony examines it like a detective studying evidence. He holds it up to the light, squints at the corners. This could be fake. I assure you it's not. Her voice remains level, professional, the kind of calm that comes from dealing with difficult people before. "Brad, call back up. Something doesn't smell right here." Brad fumbles for his radio. Should I really? Did I stutter?" The woman checks her watch. "Gentlemen, I have an FDA meeting in 12 minutes. It's regarding a drug that could save thousands of lives." Tony steps closer. Too close. Invading personal space like a playground bully. "Lady, I don't care if you're meeting the president. You follow my rules in my building." Early employees begin filtering through the lobby. The usual morning crowd, coffee in hand, phones out, ready to start their day. But something's different today. Voices drop to whispers, steps slow. People gather. Lisa Johnson, the receptionist, watches from behind her desk. Her fingers hover over the phone like she's ready to dial 911. "This is ridiculous," someone mutters from the growing crowd. Tony's chest puffs with pride. An audience for his power play. "See this badge?" He taps his security supervisor pin. "This means I run security here, not you, not anyone else, me." The woman's phone appears in her hand, not frantically, deliberately. "Are you calling for help?" Tony smirks. "Good luck with that." A young engineer whispers to his colleague, "Should we do something?" "Are you crazy? That's Tony Parker. Guy's untouchable." But phones are recording now, multiple angles, the digital age's version of witnesses. Steve Davis flanks Tony's left side. Brad takes the right. A wall of security uniforms. "Ma'am, I'm going to need you to step outside while we verify your credentials." The woman doesn't move. "My credentials are perfectly valid." "That's for me to decide." Lisa's panic wins. She grabs the desk phone, dials security's internal line. "We need more units at the main entrance," she stammers. "Possible situation." The morning shift continues streaming in, but instead of heading to elevators, they're forming a semicircle. Smartphones rise like periscopes. "What's happening here?" asks a lab technician. "Security's checking some lady's ID," Brad explains, his voice cracking slightly. Tony's authority feeds on the audience. "People need to understand there are procedures, protocols." The woman slides her phone back into her pocket. Whatever she did with it remains a mystery. "Mr. Parker, I'm asking you nicely. Please allow me to pass." "And I'm telling you nicely, not happening." A junior researcher pipes up from the crowd. "Isn't this taking kind of long for an ID check?" Tony whirls around. "Anyone who doesn't like how I do my job can file a complaint with HR." Nervous laughter ripples through the group, but the phones keep recording. The woman checks her watch again. 10 minutes now. "Clock's ticking, isn't it?" Tony's smile turns cruel. "Maybe next time you'll leave earlier." Lisa hangs up her call. "Additional security is on the way." "Good," Tony nods. "We'll get to the bottom of this." The crowd thickens. Word is spreading through the building. Something's happening in the lobby. A marketing manager whispers to her assistant, "Who is that woman?" "No idea, but she's handling this better than I would." "Way better." Tony examines the ID badge again, flipping it over, holding it sideways. "You know what? I think we should call the police too." "On what grounds?" the woman asks. "Trespassing, possible fraud, disturbing the peace." The absurdity hangs in the air like smoke. Someone in the crowd mutters, "This is insane." Another voice adds, "When small minds get big titles, everyone pays the price." Tony's head snaps toward the speakers. "Who said that?" Silence. But the recording continues. The woman's composure never cracks. She stands in the center of the storm with the stillness of someone who's weathered worse. Steve shifts uncomfortably. "Tony, maybe we should just what? Let anyone waltz into a pharmaceutical company without proper verification?" The woman pulls out her phone again. Tony's hand shoots out, grabs the woman's arm just above the elbow. "You're trespassing now." His fingers tighten. Not enough to bruise, just enough to establish dominance. The woman looks down at his hand, then back up at his face. "Remove your hand, please." Her voice carries the quiet authority of someone unaccustomed to being touched without permission. Tony's grip tightens. "I'll remove my hand when you remove yourself from this building." The backup security arrives. 2 more guards in matching uniforms. Steve and Brad position themselves like bookends on either side of Tony. A wall of authority, or what passes for it. The elevator dings. Doors slide open. Daniel Anderson steps into the lobby. Tall, pressed suit, leather briefcase that marks him as legal department. He surveys the scene, the crowd, the phones. The woman with Tony's hand wrapped around her arm. Recognition flashes across Daniel's face like lightning. "Oh my God!" He rushes across the marble floor. His dress shoes click rapidly against the stone. "Tony, what the hell are you doing?" Tony doesn't release his grip. "Dealing with a trespasser. Stay out of this, lawyer boy." Daniel's face goes pale. "That's not a trespasser." "Says who?" "Says me." Daniel's voice climbs an octave. "And says anyone with eyes." The crowd presses closer, sensing drama, sensing conflict brewing to a boil. More phones appear, more angles, more witnesses to whatever's about to unfold. "Step back, Anderson," Tony warns. "This is security business." But Daniel doesn't step back. He steps forward. The woman stares at Tony's hand on her arm. Something shifts behind her eyes. A memory triggered. 23 years old. Medical school. Standing before a panel of professors. All men. All white. All skeptical. "Miss Williams, are you certain you have the intellectual capacity for this level of research?" The lead professor's question drips with condescension. The same tone. The same assumptions. Your background is unconventional. Perhaps you'd be more suited to nursing. Young Rachel's hands tremble, but her voice doesn't. With all due respect, Professor, my research speaks for itself. Does it? Or are you simply benefiting from certain accommodations? The word hangs in the air like poison gas. The memory fades, but the resolve it forged remains. Back in the Medicor lobby, the woman's composure doesn't crack. If anything, it hardens into something unbreakable. Tony's still gripping her arm, still flexing his tiny authority. Daniel pulls out his phone. His thumb hovers over the screen. Tony, I'm giving you one chance to let her go. Or what? You'll call HR? Among other things. The crowd grows restless. Murmurs rise like a tide. This is crazy. Someone should film this. Someone is filming this. Good. Brad shifts his weight. Steve looks uncomfortable. Even they can sense the current shifting. Lisa grabs her desk phone again. Should I call the police? Yes, Tony barks. Call them now. The woman finally speaks. Mr. Parker, I'm asking you one final time. Remove your hand. And I'm telling you one final time. Get out of my building. Daniel's finger touches his phone screen, but he hesitates. Legal mind versus workplace politics. Career advancement versus doing the right thing. The eternal calculation. A lab technician whispers to her colleague, "Why isn't anyone helping her?" Because it's Tony Parker. Guys connected. Connected to what? The old boys network. Been here 15 years. Untouchable. But phones don't care about networks. Digital eyes don't blink or look away. The recording continues from a dozen angles. A junior marketing executive speaks up from the crowd. Hey, isn't this kind of excessive for an ID check? Tony's head whips toward the voice. Anyone else want to question my methods? Silence. But the phones keep rolling. That's what I thought. The woman checks her watch again. 7 minutes. 7 minutes until what? Until people's lives are affected by your ego. Tony's laugh is sharp and ugly. My ego? Lady, you're the one who thinks she's too good for security protocols. I think I'm too busy saving lives to play power games. Power games! Tony's voice rises. This is about respect, about understanding who runs what around here. Daniel's thumb hovers over his phone, still calculating, still hesitating. A voice from the crowd cuts through the tension. The only thing necessary for injustice to triumph is for good people to do nothing. Heads turn, phones swivel. But the speaker remains anonymous. The words hit Daniel like a slap. His thumb moves. Steve clears his throat. Tony, maybe we should just what? Cave to social pressure? Should just check with management. I am management, security management. Brad fidgets with his radio. The backup teams are asking for status updates. Tell them we have everything under control. But control is slipping away like water through fingers. The crowd continues growing. Word spreads through the building like wildfire. Something big is happening in the lobby. Tony Parker's losing it. Someone's filming everything. Daniel's phone lights up. His fingers move across the screen. But who is he calling? The woman notices Daniel's action. A slight nod of acknowledgement passes between them. Tony's still gripping her arm, still playing his power card, unaware that the game has already changed, unaware that the phones recording him aren't just documenting a confrontation. They're documenting the end of his career. The woman's voice cuts through the lobby noise. Clear, calm, final. Mr. Parker, you have 5 seconds to release my arm. Or what? Or you'll discover exactly how much authority you actually have in this building. Tony laughs. Is that a threat? It's a promise. Daniel's phone call connects. He turns slightly away from the crowd, speaking quietly, urgently. But to whom? Daniel's phone screen flickers to life. Not a call, something else. Going live on Medicor's official social media, he announces to no one in particular. His thumb taps the screen. A red recording dot appears. This is Daniel Anderson, legal counsel at Medicor Industries. What you're about to see is happening right now in our headquarters lobby. He angles the camera toward Tony and the woman. The image goes live to thousands of followers. Comments start flowing immediately. What's happening? Is that really live? Oh my God, this is insane. Tony notices the phone pointed at him. His face flushes red. Put that thing away, Anderson. I don't think I will. The woman's lips curve into the faintest smile. Finally. An ally with courage. Brad whispers to Steve, "Should we grab his phone?" Steve shakes his head. Legal department. We can't touch him. But Tony has no such restraints. He lunges toward Daniel. The crowd gasps. Get back! Someone shouts. But Daniel sidesteps smoothly, keeps the camera rolling, keeps the live stream active. More employees pour into the lobby. The morning shift becomes an audience. Share this, Daniel says to his phone. Share it now. Social media explodes. #MedicorGate starts trending within minutes. The lab technician who spoke earlier pulls out her own phone, starts recording from a different angle. Multiple cameras, she calls out. We've got multiple angles. A marketing executive opens his Instagram, goes live too. This is happening at my work right now. Security is literally attacking our own CEO. Wait, did he just say CEO? Murmurs ripple through the crowd. Did he say CEO? No way. He definitely said CEO. Tony's still gripping the woman's arm, still oblivious to the digital wildfire spreading around him. Turn off those cameras! But phones multiply like flowers after rain. A junior researcher whispers to her friend, My cousin works at Pfizer, sending this to her now. Why? Because pharmaceutical companies don't like bad publicity. The live stream viewer count climbs. 500, 1,000, 1,500. Comments flood the screen. This is discrimination. Someone call corporate. That poor woman. Who is she? Daniel reads the comments aloud. Viewers want to know who's being assaulted by our security team. Assaulted? Tony sputters. This is a routine security check. Routine? A voice from the crowd challenges. How many routine checks involve grabbing people? Yeah, I've worked here 3 years. Never seen anything like this. Employee solidarity builds like pressure in a steam engine. Lisa abandons her desk, walks closer to the confrontation. Tony, maybe we should call Mr. Peterson in HR. Peterson works for me. Actually, Daniel interjects, still filming. Peterson works for the company, just like all of us. The distinction hits the crowd like electricity. Just like all of us. Tony's authority suddenly looks smaller, more fragile. A software engineer near the back calls out, Why are there so many guards for one woman? Steve and Brad exchange glances. The question hangs unanswered. The woman checks her watch again. 4 minutes. 4 minutes until what? Someone in the crowd asks. Until an FDA meeting that could approve a breakthrough cancer treatment. Shocked silence. Then anger. You're making her miss a cancer meeting? Are you insane? People could die. Tony's narrative crumbles in real time. The woman finally speaks to the crowd. Her voice carries across the marble lobby without shouting. Sometimes the people guarding the door don't know who built the house. The line hits like a lightning bolt. Daniel's live stream chat explodes. Oh, she said that. Quote of the year. She's not just anyone. Who is she? The viewer count hits 3,000. A CNN notification pops up on someone's phone. Pharmaceutical executive blocked by own security. "Guys," a marketing assistant calls out, "this is already on CNN." Tony's face goes white. "That's impossible." Check Twitter. #MedicoreGate is trending. Panic flickers across Tony's features, but pride won't let him back down. "I don't care if it's on every network. Rules are rules." "Whose rules?" the woman asks quietly. "Company rules." "And who makes company rules?" The question hangs in the air like a blade. Daniel angles his camera closer. "Viewers, we're watching a masterclass in grace under pressure." Comments stream across the screen. "She's amazing." "How is she so calm?" "Tony's about to find out." A quality assurance manager speaks up from the crowd. "Tony, I've seen you let people through with expired badges." "That's different." "How?" No answer. Another voice. "Remember when your buddy from the gym came in without any ID?" "That was a special circumstance." "What makes this different?" Still no answer. The woman's composure never cracks. She stands in the center of the storm like a lighthouse in a hurricane, unshakable. More employees arrive. The crowd swells to over 50 people, all watching, all recording, all sharing. The viral moment has arrived. Daniel's live stream reaches 5,000 viewers. "For those just joining," he narrates, "we're witnessing our head of security prevent someone from entering their own workplace." Their own workplace? That's right, their own workplace. The emphasis lands like hammer blows. Tony's grip on the woman's arm loosens slightly. First crack in his confidence. "What would you do if you witnessed this?" Daniel asks his live stream audience. Drop your thoughts below. The comment section becomes a waterfall of outrage. "Call the police! This is discrimination! Sue them! Get her a lawyer!" A facilities manager pushes through the crowd. "Tony, corporate is calling. They want to know why we're trending on Twitter." Tony's face goes ashen. "Corporate?" "The C-suite. They're watching the live stream." "That's impossible." "Check the viewer list. Boardroom Medicore is logged in." The blood drains from Tony's face entirely. Steve whispers to Brad, "We should probably let her go." But Tony's pride has him trapped. Can't advance. Can't retreat. The woman checks her watch one final time. 2 minutes. Her voice carries a new weight, a finality that makes everyone listen. "Gentlemen, I believe it's time you understood something very important." The crowd holds its breath. Daniel zooms in with his camera. The live stream viewer count hits 7,000. "I think it's time you all knew something. I'm Dr. Rachel Williams, CEO of this company." The words drop into the lobby like stones into still water. Silence. Then recognition ripples through the crowd like electricity. "Oh my God. That's really her." From the quarterly meetings. The woman on the company website. The faces in the crowd shift from confusion to shock to understanding. Tony's hand drops from her arm like he's been burned. "That's impossible." His voice cracks, authority crumbling in real time. "No. No way. The CEO is..." "Is what, Mr. Parker?" Her voice remains steady. But something has changed. The mask of patience removed. Daniel's live stream explodes with comments. "She's the CEO. Holy shit! Tony is so fired. This is the best thing ever." The viewer count rockets past 10,000. "You're lying," Tony stammers. "The CEO doesn't look like..." He stops, catches himself, but the damage is done. "Doesn't look like what?" The question hangs in the air like poison gas. Every phone in the lobby captures his silence. Rachel reaches into her blazer, pulls out a different key card, not the standard employee access card, executive level, black with gold lettering. CEO, unlimited access. She holds it up for everyone to see. "Would you like me to demonstrate?" Tony's face goes white as printer paper. This can't be happening. Oh, it's happening, Daniel confirms into his live stream. Ladies and gentlemen, meet Tony Parker, the man who just blocked our CEO from entering her own building. The crowd's energy shifts completely, from curiosity to outrage. Tony, what the hell? You grabbed the CEO? Are you insane? Steve and Brad back away from Tony like he's radioactive. We didn't know, Steve whispers. I swear we didn't know, Brad adds. But Rachel's attention remains fixed on Tony. Mr. Parker, would you care to explain your actions? I was just... security protocols. Security protocols that involve physical restraint? You didn't identify yourself. I showed you my company ID. But you didn't say you were the CEO. The absurdity of the statement hits the crowd like a slap. Nervous laughter ripples through the lobby. So employees need to announce their titles to security? That's not what I meant. What did you mean? Tony's mouth opens and closes like a fish out of water. Daniel narrates for his live stream audience. For viewers just joining, our head of security just demanded our CEO identify herself beyond showing valid company identification. Comments pour across the screen. This is discrimination. Sue him. Fire everyone. How is this real? A voice from the crowd speaks up. Tony, I've walked past you 100 times without showing ID. That's different. How? Because I know you. You don't know the CEO? Silence. Another employee adds, You let the delivery guy through yesterday without checking anything. He had a uniform. So does she. It's called a business suit. Laughter spreads through the crowd. Tony's authority evaporates completely. Rachel steps forward. Not aggressive, just claiming her space. Mr. Parker, in your 15 years with this company, how many times have you attended executive meetings? That's not my job. Board presentations? No. Company-wide communications? I don't see how that's relevant. It's relevant because my face has been on every internal communication for the past 2 years. The truth hits the crowd like a brick wall. She's right. Her picture's everywhere. How did you not recognize her? Tony's legs seem unsteady. I don't really look at that stuff. You don't look at company communications? I focus on security. And yet you couldn't secure basic respect for your own CEO. The line cuts deep. Daniel's camera captures every moment, every expression. Rachel's voice carries across the lobby without shouting. Security is about protecting people, not profiling them. The punchline lands like a thunderclap. Comments explode across the live stream. Damn! Quote of the century. She's incredible. Tony just got destroyed. The viewer count hits 15,000. Local news stations start picking up the feed. Rachel pulls out her phone. Not frantically, deliberately. Lisa, please call HR immediately. Lisa grabs her desk phone, hands shaking. Yes, Dr. Williams, right away. The formal address hits Tony like a physical blow. Dr. Williams, I'm so sorry, I didn't know. You didn't know because you didn't want to know. That's not fair. What's not fair is making me miss a meeting that could save lives. She checks her watch. The FDA meeting started 2 minutes ago. The crowd's anger shifts into high gear. You made her miss an FDA meeting? For cancer treatment? People could die because of this. Tony tries to salvage the situation. We can call them, explain. Explain what? That your ego was more important than patient care? It wasn't about ego. Then what was it about? The question hangs unanswered. HR arrives. 3 people in business attire, moving fast. Dr. Williams, we came as soon as we heard. Thank you. I need immediate termination paperwork for Mr. Parker. Termination? Tony's voice cracks. You can't fire me. I can. And I am. But I was just doing my job. Your job is security, not discrimination. This isn't discrimination. The crowd responds with bitter laughter. Really? Then explain it. Make it make sense. Tony looks around desperately, searching for allies. But Steve and Brad have disappeared into the crowd. Lisa won't make eye contact. Daniel's live stream shows his isolation in real time. Mr. Miller and Mr. Davis, please step forward. Steve and Brad emerge reluctantly. You're both terminated as well. But we were following orders, Brad protests. Illegal orders don't excuse illegal actions. This is unfair. What's unfair is allowing discrimination to flourish under my leadership. HR opens their tablets, fingers flying across screens. Termination paperwork processing now, the lead HR representative announces. Your keycards will be deactivated immediately. Tony pulls out his badge, stares at it like a foreign object. 15 years. I gave this company 15 years. And this company gave you training on discrimination that you chose to ignore. I never ignored. The evidence suggests otherwise. Daniel's live stream captures the badge deactivation in real time. Red lights flash on the security panel. Access revoked appears on multiple screens. The technology doesn't lie. Comments flood the live stream. Justice served. About time. This is beautiful. She's my hero. The viewer count reaches 20,000. Major news outlets start covering the story. Mr. Parker, you have 30 minutes to collect your personal belongings. 30 minutes? That's not enough time. It's more time than you gave me to enter my own building. The parallel hits home. Security guards from the night shift arrive to escort the terminated employees. The irony is perfect. Tony looks around the lobby one final time. 50 employees watching his downfall. Dozens of phones recording his humiliation. A live stream broadcasting his failure to the world. Please, he whispers to Rachel. I made a mistake. Yes, you did. Can't we work something out? The time for working things out was when I asked you politely to let me pass. I'll change. I'll do better. You'll have plenty of time to reflect on that while looking for new employment. The finality in her voice ends all hope. Tony's shoulders slump in defeat. The escort team approaches. Gentlemen, this way, please. They walk toward the exit like prisoners heading to execution. The crowd parts to let them through. No one speaks. The only sound is footsteps on marble, and the soft chiming of phones sharing the story across social media. Daniel continues his live stream narration. And that's how justice looks when it finally arrives. The main entrance doors close behind the terminated security team. Rachel straightens her blazer. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a phone call to make to the FDA. She pulls out her phone. The crowd watches in respectful silence. Dr. Martinez, this is Rachel Williams. Yes, I know I'm late. We had a security situation that required immediate attention. Her voice carries the authority of someone who's just reminded everyone exactly who she is. The breakthrough treatment? Yes, we're still very much interested in moving forward. Daniel ends his live stream, but the story is far from over, because firing 3 people was just the beginning. The real changes were about to start. Spontaneous applause erupts across the lobby. 50 employees clapping, cheering, phones still recording the celebration. Finally! About time. Justice! Rachel raises her hand. The noise settles. Thank you, but this isn't a celebration, this is a reckoning. Her words carry weight, gravity. What happened here today should never have happened, and it will never happen again. The HR team approaches with tablets and paperwork. Dr. Williams, we need to document everything for the official incident report. Absolutely. Full documentation. Every detail. Daniel steps forward. I have the entire confrontation recorded. Multiple angles. Perfect. Legal will need copies for our files. A lab technician raises her hand. Will there be consequences for the company? There will be consequences, but not the ones you might expect. Rachel's phone buzzes. Text messages flooding in. Board members, executives, media requests. She ignores them all. Lisa, please open an emergency HR hotline. 24-hour access. Anyone who's experienced similar treatment needs a safe way to report it. Right away, Dr. Williams. And I want a comprehensive review of all security protocols. This week. An engineer near the back calls out, "What about the people who stayed silent?" The question hits deep. Rachel pauses, remembering. 2 years ago, the day she became CEO, standing in the same lobby. "I want Medicor to be the kind of place where everyone feels valued," she told the board that day. Not just the executives, not just the scientists, everyone. Board Chair Harrison frowned. "That's admirable, Rachel. But let's focus on shareholder value." "Respectfully, sir, they're the same thing. People who feel respected work harder, innovate more, stay longer." Sounds expensive. Discrimination lawsuits are more expensive. We don't have discrimination problems here. Every company has discrimination problems. The question is whether we address them proactively or wait for them to explode. Your predecessor never worried about these things. My predecessor was asked to resign after 3 sexual harassment settlements. Uncomfortable silence around the boardroom table. "Dr. Williams, you have 18 months to prove your philosophy works. If productivity drops, it won't." "How can you be sure?" "Because I've lived it. I know what it's like to be the only one, the outsider, the person who doesn't fit the traditional mold." She gestured toward the windows overlooking the lobby. "Every person walking through those doors deserves to feel like they belong here, not just the ones who look like the previous leadership." Back in the present, Rachel addresses the engineer's question. "People who stayed silent aren't the enemy. Fear makes people quiet. Our job is to remove that fear." Murmurs of agreement ripple through the crowd. "Starting immediately, we're implementing 3 major changes." She counts on her fingers. "First, mandatory bias training for every employee, not just diversity awareness. Real training on unconscious bias and inclusive behavior." Nods throughout the crowd. "Second, anonymous reporting system, app-based. Direct line to my office for serious issues. Third, zero tolerance for discrimination, not progressive discipline, not warnings. Zero tolerance." A marketing coordinator raises her hand. "What does zero tolerance actually mean?" "It means what happened to Tony Parker happens to anyone who creates a hostile environment for their colleagues." "Even executives?" "Especially executives." The clarity sends a message. Daniel steps forward. "Dr. Williams, what should I do with the live stream footage?" "Post it everywhere. Let it be a teaching moment." "Are you sure? It might bring negative attention." "The negative attention was earned. We own it. We learn from it. We do better." Her phone rings. Board Chair Harrison. She answers on speaker. "Rachel, what the hell is happening? We're getting calls from reporters." "We're handling a discrimination incident." "I saw the video." "Couldn't this have been resolved quietly?" "Discrimination thrives in quiet spaces, sir. But the publicity will show that Medicor takes these issues seriously. The shareholders won't like this. The shareholders will like the lawsuit we just avoided even less." Silence on the other end. "Harrison, I'm implementing immediate changes. Full support from the board would be appreciated." "What kind of changes?" "The kind that prevent this from happening again." "How much will it cost?" "Less than ignoring the problem." More silence. "You have my support, Rachel. Do what needs to be done." "Thank you." She hangs up. The crowd has grown, word spreading through the building. "Dr. Williams, A research director calls out. What happens to people who witnessed this and didn't intervene? They get training, and they get a second chance to do better. What about the people who did intervene? Rachel looks directly at Daniel. Mr. Anderson, effective immediately, you're promoted to general counsel. Gasps from the crowd. Daniel's face goes white. Dr. Williams, You put your career on the line to do the right thing. That's exactly the kind of leadership this company needs. Applause erupts again. Your first assignment is overseeing the implementation of our new anti-discrimination policies. Yes, ma'am, absolutely. A facilities manager pushes through the crowd. Dr. Williams, security is asking about coverage. We just fired our entire front desk team. Promote from within. Find people who understand that security means protecting everyone. I have some recommendations. Good. I want names by end of day. Her phone buzzes with news alerts. CEO fires security team for discrimination. Pharmaceutical exec blocked by own guards. Medicor Industries takes stand against bias. The story is spreading beyond social media. A junior scientist raises her hand. Dr. Williams, what can we do to help? Hold each other accountable. Speak up when you see problems. Create the culture you want to work in. What if people retaliate against us for reporting? Then they get terminated too. The simplicity of the answer resonates. Lisa approaches with her phone. Dr. Williams, the emergency hotline is active. We're already getting calls. How many? 12 in the first 10 minutes. Rachel's jaw tightens. 12 incidents we didn't know about. Some are from other departments, some are from years ago. Document everything. Follow up on everything. Yes, ma'am. A quality assurance manager speaks up. Will there be consequences for managers who ignored previous complaints? If they ignored them, yes. What kind of consequences? The same kind Tony Parker just experienced. The message is clear. Daniel raises his hand. Should we prepare a statement for the media? Yes, but I want complete transparency. No corporate speak. No deflection. What's the message? The message is that we screwed up. We're fixing it. And we're committed to doing better. The board might prefer something more measured. The board can trust me to handle this appropriately. Her phone shows 47 missed calls, local news, national outlets, industry publications. Dr. Williams, a marketing executive, asks, how do we control the narrative? We don't control it. We own it. That's risky. Hiding is riskier. She looks around the lobby, still crowded with employees. I want everyone to understand something important. What happened here today wasn't an isolated incident. It was a symptom of a larger problem. Silence. We're not just firing 3 people. We're changing a culture. Real leadership means the last person through the door still feels welcome. The line resonates through the crowd. Phones capture it, share it, spread it. Another moment destined for viral status. But this time, the right message is going viral. The message of inclusion, accountability, change. 6 months later, those words would be painted on the lobby wall. But that transformation was still to come. 6 months later, the same Medicor Industries lobby, same marble floors, same floor-to-ceiling windows. But everything else has changed. Good morning, Dr. Williams. The greeting comes from Marcus Johnson, the new head of security, African-American, former military, PhD in criminal justice. His team reflects the diversity of the company itself, different backgrounds, different perspectives, united by shared training and mutual respect. Morning, Marcus. How's the new facial recognition system working? Flawlessly. 99.7% accuracy. No more mistaken identity incidents. Rachel nods approvingly. And the bias training program? Completed by 100% of security staff. Company-wide implementation at 85%. Excellent. She swipes her keycard. Green light. Smooth entry, no drama, no confrontation, just seamless access to her own building, the way it should have always been. Daniel Anderson approaches from the elevator bank, no longer legal counsel, general counsel now, corner office, expanded team, real authority to implement change. Rachel, the quarterly inclusion metrics are in. Good news or bad news? Exceptional news. Employee satisfaction up 32%. Discrimination complaints down 78%. And retention? Highest in company history, particularly among underrepresented groups. That's not just good ethics, that's good business. The board is finally understanding that connection. They walk toward the elevator together, past the lobby wall where new words are painted in elegant script. Real leadership means the last person through the door still feels welcome. Below that, smaller text. Dr. Rachel Williams, CEO. The quote has become the company's unofficial motto. Daniel, remember when you hesitated to start that live stream? I remember thinking about my career instead of doing what was right. And now? Now I know that doing what's right is the best career move possible. The elevator arrives. Doors open. Speaking of careers, congratulations on the American Bar Association recognition. Daniel smiles. Outstanding General Counsel for Corporate Social Responsibility. Still can't believe it. I can. You earned it. They step inside. Doors close. Rachel, can I ask you something? Always. Do you ever regret handling it so publicly? The live stream, the terminations, all of it? Rachel considers the question. 6 months ago, I missed an FDA meeting because of discrimination. That drug we were discussing? It's now approved and saving lives. Because you rescheduled? Because the delay forced us to strengthen our data. The FDA asked harder questions. We provided better answers. So the discrimination actually helped? The discrimination was wrong, period. But our response to it made us stronger. The elevator opens on the executive floor. Dr. Williams, your 10 a.m. is here, her assistant announces. The Harvard Business School case study interview? That's the one. Perfect timing. Rachel turns to Daniel. Want to sit in? Your live stream is a central part of their research. Harvard Business School is writing a case study about this? Digital accountability and corporate transformation, the Metacore model. It'll be taught in leadership programs nationwide. Nationwide? Internationally. The video has been viewed over 2 million times. Daniel shakes his head in amazement. Sometimes I still can't believe it went viral. The story went viral because it resonated. People are hungry for accountability. They walk toward the conference room. Harvard isn't the only institution paying attention, Rachel continues. We've had inquiries from Fortune 500 companies asking about our protocols. Really? Pharma Giant implemented our bias training model. TechCorp adopted our reporting system. Even consulting firms are selling Metacore-style transformation packages. The Tony Parker incident became a business model? The response to the Tony Parker incident became a business model. They pause outside the conference room. Daniel, what we did here wasn't just about firing 3 people. It was about changing how an entire industry thinks about inclusion. And it started with one live stream. It started with one person deciding to do the right thing instead of the safe thing. Daniel straightens his tie. Ready to tell that story to Harvard? Ready to inspire the next generation of leaders. They enter the conference room. The Harvard team has cameras set up, professional lighting, academic gravitas. Dr. Williams, thank you for participating in our research. Thank you for recognizing that this story matters. Our initial findings suggest that your approach is being replicated across multiple industries. Good. Change shouldn't be limited to one company. What would you say to leaders who worry about the risks of such transparency? Rachel leans forward, confident, clear. I'd say the risks of opacity are far greater than the risks of transparency. Can you elaborate? Hidden problems grow into public disasters. Visible problems become opportunities for positive change. And the business case? Our stock price is up 18% since the incident. Employee productivity has increased. Customer loyalty is at an all-time high. Because you fired 3 security guards? Because we demonstrated that our values aren't just marketing copy, they're operational principles. The interviewer nods. What's your message for leaders facing similar situations? The door you open for others might be the one that leads to your greatest success. The camera captures the line perfectly. Another quotable moment destined for business school presentations. After the interview, Rachel returns to her office. Floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the lobby where everything changed. She can see Marcus Johnson greeting employees with genuine warmth. Diverse faces moving through security with dignity intact. The system working as it should. Her phone shows notifications from the viral video. Comments still pouring in 6 months later. This inspired me to speak up at my job. Shared this with our HR department. Every CEO should watch this. Thank you for showing what leadership looks like. Real change, lasting impact, measured not just in policies, but in lives improved. If this story inspired you, share it with someone who needs to see that justice still exists. Subscribe for more real stories of people standing up for what's right. Because courage isn't just about facing down discrimination when it happens to you. It's about standing up when it happens to someone else. And sometimes, that single act of courage changes everything. The door you open for others might be the one that leads to your greatest success.